Look at all this mess, all this clutter. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I left this all behind. Everything on the floor. Guess it's really time to clean up. Here we go. Hi guys, KatimaGaming here, and today we are gonna do some room renovation. My office and gaming room is a mess, as you saw in the previous clip. For those of you who don't know, I got sick and was away for about a month, and while I was away in the hospital, the place I left behind was a mess. Like you saw in the previous clip, just stuff after stuff after stuff. And since the doctor said I needed to work out, because let's face it, I don't look like the healthiest guy here, I decided to just do a full-on room makeover. So how about you join me as we turn the mess that I left behind back into a man cave. Enjoy. All right, back from the hospital and into my room. Oh my God, just stuff over stuff over stuff. I used to do a little bit of Muay Thai, so I just dump everything here without a care. Didn't bother to organize it, just closed the door because no one would come in. Looks like I really got my work cut out for me. Look at that desk, just stuff over stuff. Didn't really care about it. And look at the cable management. I really wanted to do proper cable management, but I just couldn't be bothered. I'm just gonna rip all of this out. Turning into the second room. This is where we all used to hang out before COVID, but now there's even stuff that I don't know what it's for. Barbecues outside, but yeah, ever since people stopped hanging out here, I just dump things here. So yeah, I gotta clear all this up too as well. All right, as you can see, here's a picture of all the stuff just cluttered in the first room, and in the second room, the printer is on the chair. Let's begin. Alright, I'm going to start with the desk. I'll take all the keyboard and mouse out there, all that clutter that I never bothered to actually fix or ever bothered to actually arrange. Gotta be careful with all those knickknacks, make sure I don't misplace anything, and I'm moving everything to the living room and to the dining room just to make sure that I don't lose any of this while I'm trying to clean. Alright, so I've asked permission from my wife to actually put stuff in the dining room temporarily. As you can see, so much clutter. That's just on my table. And you can see there, that's lunch for today. Okay, gonna start moving out the chair and all the clutter on the floor. I just started dumping stuff on the floor. My excess keyboard, those darts that I never bothered to put up, the bag that I used to take to work, and of course the shelf with the books that I never bothered to read. And of course the electronic keyboard that I've kept. Now you can see the living room is cluttered with all my stuff, along with the kitchen and a not so enthusiastic wife at the moment. Okay, now we're gonna move and get the sound system out of the way. Gotta take the microphone out, put them all into the living room temporarily, and make sure that all of them are organized. Wow, finally look at that floor. Finally, things are starting to shape up. Now we're gonna remove all the plugs from the extension cord. This is a heavy duty one, just gotta be careful. Now all the cables, oh my gosh, it's such a mess. And also the router, actually I'm a little bit ashamed here because the router cable going from the second room to the first room actually hit it with this plank over here just so that people won't see the cables. Okay, start removing all the plugs from the PC. PC's the first to go into the living room. Now I'm trying my best to actually keep the cables organized while I dismantle them because I don't want to misplace or put in the wrong cables. I'd have to end up buying new cables as well if I lose them, and I'll end up finding them again, and you know, I'll end up with two cables. Now moving out and taking out the plugs slowly one by one. As you can see, all the power cables from the monitors are bundled together just to make sure that they stay organized. And now look at that. The floor is finally visible in this sector. And as you can see, keeping those cables organized to make sure I don't lose them. Now back to the living room. Everything is starting to fill up. But yeah, keeping them here and make sure everything is organized section by section, especially the cables. As you can see, I've bundled the cables together from the video cables to the power cables and the PC over there. Now it's time to put up the table so that I can organize my monitors. Alright, another update on how the dining room and the living room looks like. Not very livable at the moment. Now I've got to clean up and make sure we get all of those lizard poop, clean the table off, and then start moving it to the side for future planning. Oh, as you can see, the floor is so clean now, finally visible. Now it's time to turn my attention to the toughest job. It's the next room with all my collections. Now you might be wondering why there's so much clutter here. Well, before this used to be a hangout place for me and my friends where we just nerd out, but ever since COVID, it's been hard to actually set up a visit for friends to come over or family even. So I just started dumping things there and it just became an empty room that I really cared less and less about. Gotta get rid of that nasty rug. Definitely gonna spray clean it outside. It has never been washed. So yeah, definitely looking forward to cleaning that. And now look at this. The room is so clean. The floor is so visible right now. And I'm very proud of myself. Now it's time to take care of that shelf. We start from the top where all of my boxes of keyboards, mouse, graphics card is going on. Got the Gundam out. That's my shrine over there. It's with me wherever I go. Some small figurines. Put them all in a bag to make sure I don't lose any of them. Clean the top off, making sure that it's free of dust and lizard poop. Moving on to the first shelf, all the PlayStation collections, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta move them, make sure they're in the right place. And at the bottom, all of my Nintendo collections from the Famicom to the Nintendo 64. It might be hard for you to believe, but I do have 2 Nintendo 64s out there. Gifts from my very generous family. Moving on now, the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and then to the bottom shelves, all of these different hats and also PC collections. At the very bottom are my laptops and board games. Okay, moving on to the book section. As you can see, I was getting really tired, so my wife to the rescue to help me with them books. It was really, as you can see, sweat is just pouring down my back, and yeah, just trying to keep everything organized. And I finally got busted because we're arguing here about my Starbucks mug collection, $10 each, and my wife can't believe it, you know, really expensive, and she was pissed. Hey, come on, come here. Come here.
No, I don't do that.
After talking about it for a long time, it was decided that the PC will come into this room and we move all the shelves to the other room. And I was actually very stubborn here because I thought this shelf should be here and I'll move the second shelf to the other side later. But you know what? My wife said, nope, move that to the other side. And yeah, I decided to move the second shelf to this area instead. Now that everything is cleared up, it's time to make space and make way for the desk. But before that, we decided to put everything up into the shelf. And this actually took me all the way to the second day. As you can see, night and day coming here. Day number 2, and it looks like everything is finally organized. I really love this room because now everyone can come here, and instead of just hanging out, this becomes like more of a display room. And all of my stuff, all of my books still there, much more organized than the way it was. This will be featured in the room tour on the next episode. Going into the second shelf, I love all of my games finally being displayed up there with PC, PS3, and PS4. And then moving on from left, I have all my Sony speakers. Like I said, I will feature everything here along with the Gundams and my graphics card in the next episode when I do a full room tour. Now, time to move that desk onto the other side. I had to be very careful not to break this table on that gap.
Andy, oh man, so clean. Baby.
Oh, wait, no. So as you can see, I kept everything organized right here, from the power cords to the PC power cord to the video cables and into the main power extension with the PC, keeping everything together. Moving on here, PC goes down first. I wasn't really sure if the PC should be on that side, but since everything's been organized, I can now rearrange and then just schedule step by step on setting up the PC onto the monitors and onto the power extension. So this is sort of like a draft on my cable management. This hasn't been finalized yet. As you noticed, I decided to put the PC on the far left instead to give me more space here. This hasn't been a final idea yet. As I said, I will update this on my room tour. Power cords are all organized right onto the desk, and the power bricks are all just hanging in order to radiate heat properly. So here's how the setup goes. I got my wireless keyboard and mouse along with the Razer Tartarus. As you can see, under the mouse pad there is a cable running at the bottom. I actually just taped it in order to keep it organized. But like I said, I'll feature all of my cable management on a later episode. But right now, yeah, I'm very happy with this setup, and hopefully it'll keep clean. It's been a long journey, and it took 2 days and a lot of backache and a lot of sweat, but I am so happy with what me and my wife managed to achieve here. Waking up every morning and coming to the room, it just is a breath of fresh air. Fun fact, while we were organizing, a snake actually crawled out of the room, meaning the place was in dire need of cleaning. Alright, and there you have it, guys. It took 2 days, a lot of sweat, and a lot of tolerance, if you could believe it. A room tour is in the works. I'll be showing you more of my cable management. I'll also be showing off my collection as well, as you see in the other room. And yeah, I'll also put up those audio foams. I'll make a video putting up those audio foams. They have been sitting around for about a year now, and I need to put them up right behind me. It's time. If you have any recommendations or any questions, comment section is down below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. It really helps small channels like mine out. I had a lot of fun doing this, guys, and thank you so much for joining me on the journey in renovating my room. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our past, present, and future videos. สวัสดีครับ